In a dimly lit archive room deep beneath a European university, a tattered map was recently uncovered, its parchment brittle, its ink faded, and yet one detail sent shivers through the historians. Near the southern Atlantic, where only endless ocean should exist, a vast landmass stretched boldly across the page. Its borders were etched with the precision of a skilled cartographer, yet no record of such a place exists anywhere in human history. The map dated back to the late 1500s, a time when world exploration was still defining the shape of continents. What troubled experts most was how accurately it depicted regions that were not officially discovered until hundreds of years later. Except this one land, the one that shouldn't exist, was right there, named, labeled, and seemingly recognized. Under magnification, the ink appeared strange, composed of a pigment not found in any known dye from that era. The cartographer's signature was partly scratched away, as though someone had tried to eliminate the creator's identity. That act alone raised unsettling questions about what knowledge the mapmaker might have possessed, and what they were forced to hide. Geological experts were brought in, searching for any evidence of a massive landmass beneath the seas where the map indicated one once stood. Satellite imaging showed odd ridges along the ocean floor, formations that resembled ancient shorelines. Some dismissed it as coincidence, others whispered it was proof of something intentionally buried by time and by powerful interests. Historians cross-examined other maps from the same period and found faint hints, an occasional blank space or erroneous coastline, that could mirror the hidden continent. It was as if multiple mapmakers had seen something, some truth, and then collectively erased it from our recorded history. The silence spanning centuries felt almost deliberate, almost forced. A maritime logbook from a Portuguese navigator mentioned a storm that carried them far off charted waters. The entry described sighting a coastline lined with black cliffs and obsidian sands, then abruptly ends with the phrase, "The sea swallowed the world." That line now haunts those studying this spectral geography. Conspiracy theorists connected this discovery to ancient cataclysms, echoes of Atlantis, Lemuria, or Mu. Yet scholars found the idea too convenient, dismissing it as myth. But the sheer detail of this map's contours, its rivers, mountains, and coastal names, suggested a land precisely documented, not imagined. Late one evening, a historian working alone reported hearing faint whispers from the parchment itself, like shifting paper murmuring in forgotten languages. The air around the desk grew colder, the lights flickered, and the ink seemed to ripple against the lamplight. When dawn came, he resigned, refusing to speak of what he saw next. Attempts to digitally scan the map produced corrupted files. The images glitched, reforming with streaks of distorted coastlines extending into places that weren't drawn before. Each scan showed a slightly different geography, as though the map was alive, rewriting itself each time someone tried to capture it. When analyzed under ultraviolet light, hidden inscriptions appeared along the edges, symbols unlike any written alphabet known to man. Experts attempted to decode them but found strange mathematical alignments consistent with celestial maps. The coordinates pointed to a region in the South Atlantic known as the Pole of Inaccessibility. Divers sent to survey the region found nothing but cold, crushing depth. Their sonar, however, registered a massive plateau rising almost 3,000 feet above the seabed, perfectly rectangular. As they hovered above it, their equipment malfunctioned, compasses spun wildly, and audio transmissions picked up rhythmic knocking sounds from below. One diver described seeing a brief flash of light, as though something metallic shimmered far beneath the surface. He swore he saw ruins, columns, staircases, and walls, but the visibility vanished seconds later. The footage from his helmet cam, conveniently, was missing when the team resurfaced. Government agencies quietly classified their findings, citing national security concerns. The archive that once held the map was sealed under restricted access. A new version of the facility's catalog omitted any mention of the artifact, as if every record had been rewritten. Theories ignited online, with some users claiming to have downloaded fragments of the original scan before it was erased. They posted mirrored coastlines, arguing that they matched seismic maps of the mid-Atlantic ridge. Strangely, those posts began disappearing within hours, accounts suspended without explanation. Researchers traced the parchment's composition to a tree species native to a region never mapped in historical times. The fibers contained isotopic anomalies, ratios impossible on known continents. In essence, the map wasn't simply depicting a lost land, it was created from a material that may have come from there. Some scholars proposed a much darker idea, that the land had existed briefly, a geopolitical anomaly erased not by the sea but by something tampering with time itself. Could the Earth's timeline have been edited, removing an entire continent from existence like a deleted file? Evidence across literature suggests scattered cultural memory, myths of a kingdom beneath the waves, legends of gods taking entire nations in one night. Those echoes seem to converge precisely where the phantom continent stood. Humanity, it appears, had been remembering fragments of something the world was never meant to recall. A scientist from a classified institute told an anonymous journalist that certain gravitational readings around that ocean sector didn't behave normally. Objects dropped there during experiments experienced measurable microdelays in descent, as if gravity, not time, was fluctuating. He vanished weeks later before publishing his findings. Soon after, weather anomalies began to manifest precisely along those unexplored coordinates. Cyclones formed unnaturally, radar patterns showed circular distortions, and satellite images blurred at the same coordinates. It was almost as if something was struggling to reappear, a presence beneath the waves testing the limits of reality. In the locked archives of several institutions, photocopies of the map's outline were found drawn by unknown hands, dated decades before the artifact's rediscovery. The accuracy was exact down to the smallest river systems, hinting that knowledge of that land persisted secretly across generations. Linguists examined the mysterious word inscribed on the Phantom Land's banner, Orith. No translation existed in any known language, ancient or modern. Some interpreted it as a name, others as a warning, its subtle symmetry suggesting a palindrome meant to loop over itself, symbolizing endless return. Whispers spread that global powers had tried to contact what lay beneath, sending signals encoded in sonar pulses. Weeks later, monitors recorded returning frequencies, low and resonant, too rhythmic to be natural seismic activity. The signal pattern resembled a heartbeat, slow, deliberate, massive. Crew members aboard nearby ships reported vivid dreams of coastlines with black sand and giant monoliths. Upon waking, they could describe intricate details, flora, architecture, and air temperature, that matched the unknown land's illustrations on the map. After their accounts were logged, each of them soon experienced identical nosebleeds and migraines. Decades later, the map re-emerged in a private collection auction, but witnesses say it behaved oddly during bidding. The ink brightened momentarily when the gavel fell, glowing faintly like embers. The buyer, an undisclosed party, transported it under armed escort and has never been identified publicly. Some digital artists recreated the map from memory, overlaying it on modern charts. The outlines fit perfectly against certain underwater mountain ranges that resemble city grids. The calculated geometry suggested more than natural formation, it hinted at design, architecture, and the echo of civilization. Scientists attempting to disprove it instead uncovered microfossils along those coordinates dating millions of years younger than surrounding seabed samples. That anomaly implied that part of the ocean floor had once been exposed to air, recently in geological terms, then sank in a single catastrophic motion. As more data emerged, it became clear that every attempt to reveal the truth brought inexplicable consequences: blackouts, corrupted drives, vanished experts. It was as if reality itself retaliated against those trying to expose its secret. The phrase, glitch in the matrix, took on an unnerving literal meaning. Some brave researchers proposed that parallel versions of Earth overlap momentarily, and that the map originated from one such alternate timeline. If the veil thinned centuries ago, that land may have bled into our reality for a brief period before receding again. That would explain its impossible accuracy and sudden disappearance. A sailor from the 1970s reported navigating through a violent fog off the South Atlantic, where his compass spun uncontrollably. When he emerged hours later, his star charts placed him nearly 2,000 miles from his last recorded position. His description of the horizon, a golden shoreline that vanished in seconds, mirrored the phantom land too closely to dismiss. Supercomputers constructing timeline simulations identified a missing timestamp, an unaccounted 6-hour gap during global seismic recordings on May 15, 1952. During that void, deep ocean instruments registered the faint outline of continental mass rising and collapsing again beneath the current. Those who read the old map in person often described a sense of unease, as though the parchment emitted a low-frequency vibration directly into their bones. Some experienced disorientation, a brief fading of their surroundings, like slipping between frames of a film. The map, it seems, distorts not only geography but perception itself. Philosophers began questioning whether our understanding of history is sequence or simulacrum. If something once real can be erased without trace, are we living on the edited version of Earth? Could our continents be merely the surviving fragments of a much larger design that occasionally bleeds through anomalies like this? Night, the ancient map remains sealed in a vault guarded under constant temperature control. Yet whispers persist that under certain lunar alignments, the faint outline of that forgotten continent begins to glow again, its borders trembling, eager to reclaim their place in our world. Perhaps it's not gone. Perhaps it's waiting. And as experts debate, as skeptics dismiss, the sea continues its silent rhythm, hiding or protecting whatever truth sleeps beneath. Maybe, just maybe, the Earth remembers the shape it once had, and through that single piece of parchment, it's trying to remind us what we've lost. Or what's coming back soon.